Right, experience of working in senior positions both at the central and the state levels. During her career spanning over 30 years, she has served in responsible positions in various government departments like irrigation, water resources, power, tourism, higher education and languages, planning personnel, etc. She also held the charge of Chief Electoral Officer and the Principal Secretary of Elections Department, Government of Punjab, from October 2008 to April 2013. She has served as part-time official director in HEC, HMT Limited, and BHEL. Now I request Madam to give her address.
Professor Mishra, Dr. Pudornik, Mrs. Murtza, Mr. Jayesh Raman, Dr. Rajesh, Mr. Pavaria. I am delighted to be present in this conference today, which has been organized by the two premier institutes of international repute, the Institute of Public Enterprises, Hyderabad, and the International Center for Promotion of Enterprises, Ljubljana, Slovenia, both of whom are engaged in research, consultancy, and training in areas of management, corporate governance, and other allied subjects. Though these institutes are located miles apart, they have been joined by their common objective to provide research-validated academic support to corporate enterprises in order to help them improve their overall functioning. DBE has a long and close relationship with both IPE and ICPE and has since their inception consistently supported them in their activities. DBE is represented on the board of the governors of IPE. India is one of the founding members of ICPE and has always held some key position in the main organs of the center. In my ex-officio capacity as president of the ICPE Council, I am aware of the deep interest that DBE has taken in strengthening and revitalizing ICPE. Therefore, I am happy to note that by organizing this conference, IPE and ICPE have demonstrated their commitment to share knowledge and experience and work in close collaboration with each other within the framework of the MOUs signed by the two institutes. This conference is extremely timely because it is a topic which has caught the imagination of policymakers, economists, development strategists, management scholars, and business leaders worldwide. Public-private partnership started initially as an entrepreneurial experiment in standalone joint business ventures. These soon gained acceptance, but it is now acknowledged as a catalyst for economic growth, especially in developing economies. In every economy, regardless of its level of development, there is a clear link between robust infrastructure and economic growth. But since governments are generally confronted with challenges of budgetary constraints, resource crunches, rapid urbanization, and increasing consumer demand for better services, they are often not well equipped to make the necessary investments for infrastructure development. It is in response to these challenges that many government organizations are tapping the private sector for capital, technology, and expertise in order to finance, develop, and manage public sector infrastructure projects. PPP projects stem from the government's desire to provide high-quality utility services to the public at reasonable and affordable prices. The phenomena of PPP defines the relationship between public and private sectors in that the companies in the two sectors which enter into a partnership shift from a competitive posture to a complementary role vis-a-vis each other, which is mutually advantageous. The success of this development model in improving urban infrastructure and delivery of superior quality services in developed countries paved the way for its adoption in the developing economies, also where the need for quality services, better infrastructure, and easy access to finances for economic growth-oriented projects is even more pressing. It is a win-win model for all. The government meets its obligations to the public without debt on its balance sheet, reduces its deficit, diverts critical resources to other sectors, and lays the foundation for economic development. The private sector finds a new and vast market for expansion and investment of its finances with assured long-term returns. The public receives services that are often more reliable and of a better quality than services generally provided by the government, and also at a much fairer and equitable price than what is otherwise charged by public service providers. When I mentioned this yesterday over dinner to one of my friends, they said that's a very rosy picture. I agree, that's a rosy picture, that's what it's supposed to present. that's what's supposed to happen, but that's not the way it does. We've just had Mr. Jayesh tell us that that's not really how it happens. There are lots of problems that come up. My own brush with public-private enterprise projects has not been too vast, but in my last assignment, I was also on the board of the DMIC. You all must have heard of the Delhi-Mumbai Industrial Corridor. That's actually where I realized that a public-private partnership model requires so much backroom work. Not only the two, you see, as Mr. Jayesh said, that the best idea would be to bring a ready project to the table and offer it transparently to a private entrepreneur to take over. In my experience, I've been watching the MD of the CEO of the DMIC project working. He works night and day to get all the environmental clearances, to get all the land acquisition done, to get the state governments and the municipal corporations to agree to give up certain amount of power and increase their responsibility. Because actually when you're giving up power or you're giving up revenue, or you're deciding to say that, all right, I will not interfere in this portion, let the private entrepreneur do this. It's, I think, the government's job or the public enterprise's job or the public entity's job to make sure that the other partner is facilitated. Because if this sharing of authority and sharing of responsibility is taken to mean that you give up something and don't bring anything else to the table, that's not what happens. Actually, responsibility increases because you have to make sure that the other person succeeds in what he does. It becomes a win-win situation only when you realize that in the other person's winning will you win. Now, one of the biggest problems that is coming up in this is transparency and the need for, well, not the need, but what we have seen recently with the Delhi Discoms being now put to audit. I don't know how private companies will agree to a CAG audit of their accounts and what form that audit will take. It's something that we have to look and see how things work out. Land acquisition is another huge, because most of our infrastructure projects require land acquisition. Land acquisition is a huge issue. Earlier it didn't cost so much money, now it does. Earlier, in the 50s and the 60s, we barely thought in terms of rehabilitation. Now the rehabilitation package itself is huge. And at the end of the day, you have to make sure that the service that you're going to provide is affordable and will be sustainable. These issues are some which have to be debated and discussed by the two partners in the enterprise. And the issue of putting it before the public and in the public domain by way of calling for objections and all is normally seen actually as a waste of time, or at least something which takes a lot of time. But I think that if you want to make a project successful, you need to go through the entire procedure. And you need to do it with your whole heart, not as something that is a cursory thing that needs to be done just to comply with the letter of the law. And these are difficult times, and I think if we have people sitting in rooms like this to discuss the ways out, you're sitting away from the problem. So maybe you can provide solutions which someone who's in the thick of it may not even think of. Thinking out of the box when you're sitting in the box is a little difficult. But sitting away from it, I think in seminars and workshops like this, and the exchange of ideas and experiences, I think can help go a long way in sort of laying down newer and more acceptable methods of going about projects like this. I'm extremely grateful to IPE for having arranged this in collaboration with ICPE, and I wish the conference the greatest of success. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. Before we go for the release of the conference volume, let me take just 2 minutes to speak about the book. The conference volume is actually consists of 30 papers, which actually took a painstaking exercise of almost 2 months to edit, and these papers are actually related to the themes and sub-themes of the conference. It is published by a non-publisher called Bloomsbury.
This is the 305th book over the last 50 years by the Institute of Public Enterprise. Our faculty has published more than 700 papers. They have about 180 citations. And last year, there was a report submitted by Ministry of Human Resource Development. It has done an analysis of the research by different institutes. And among all the institutes in India, IP has been ranked as #1 in India on publications of papers and #2 in terms of publications of the books. So I think this credit goes to faculty under the leadership of our board. We don't have President P. Ramarao, who is traveling, was former Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, who is a Padma Bhushan and who has worked with top-notch nuclear scientists, Mr. Bhabha, Mr. Setna, and others, and was responsible to work with Mr. Bhabha and Dr. Bhanu Prasad to have the first atomic reactor for India in 1958. So this goes, I think, a long way, I think, to the credit of the Institute of Public Enterprise.
Thank you, sir. I would now like to request our chief guest, Ms. Kusumjit Sidhu, to release the conference volume.
Yeah, ma'am.
Now I'd like to request my colleagues, Dr. Janaki and Dr. Geeta, to come over the dais and give a memento to Madam. I request Dr. Nandita Sethi to give a memento to Ms. Marsha Advantage. I request Dr. Jayashree to give a memento to Sri Jayesh Ranjan.
Dr. Jayashree is our research coordinator, and IT has produced 67 PhDs, which are more than any IIM.
I request Dr. Poonam to give a memento to Mr. Zanis Vidovnik.
And Poonam heads the first Center on Corporate Social Responsibility. IT has published about 10 books and done about 40 projects.
I request Dr. Sailaja to give a memento to Professor R.K. Mishra.
Me? Dr. Sailaja is our admission coordinator and has done a lot of work on modeling, and she has published a book on econometric applications. And when she gives me, I'm assured of admission to IP courses.
Thank you. Now I request my colleague and organizing committee member, Mr. Chandrasekhar, to propose the vote of thanks.
Okay, Chandrasekhar is our colleague who works in the area of computational finance. This is a new area emerging in the field of finance.
Good morning, all. Honorable Chief Guest, Ms. Kusumjit Sidhu, Secretary, Department of Public Enterprises, Government of India, and respected guest of honor, Ms. Mohica Rovatic, Minister Plenipotentiary of the Embassy of Republic of Slovenia, and Sri Jayesh Ranjan, Vice Chairman and Managing Director, AP IIC, and Director General Janez Podobnik, ICP, Slovenia, and our Director, Professor R.K. Mishra, distinguished experts from India and abroad, and colleagues from Institute, and our friends, well-wishers, and students, it is indeed my very pleasant duty to propose vote of thanks on behalf of IPE and ICPE on this occasion. We are really grateful to our respected Chief Guest, Sri Ms. Kusumjit Sidhu, for gracing this occasion and inaugurating the conference with some very useful propositions from which the discussions can begin. Thank you, Madam, for your presence and insights and releasing the book on this occasion. We offer special thanks to Ms. Mohicha Rovatich and Sri Jayesh Ranjan on behalf of IPE and ICPE family and from the entire fraternity, despite very hectic schedule, for agreeing to be the guest of honor for inaugural of the conference. A number of organizations have come forward to financially support this conference. We gratefully acknowledge their support, most specifically ICSSR, L&T Metro Rail, Hyderabad Metro Rail, IIFCL, and NSIC. Finally, big thank you to the press and administration and staff of IPE and ICPE. Thanking you.
Sir, I will just take a minute, please, just a minute. I want to call all my colleagues who were there in the organizing committee, and it has been a very, they have put in so much efforts, and for the past 15 days, it has been really very hectic and arduous for us. And I will call all the names. Please come on the stage. Anant, please come. Inder, Kalyan, Karthik, Swayamprava, Chandrasekhar, Sunita Madam, Rakesh, Salman Raju, and all these students. Sunita Madam, please. So we were a committee of 10, and it has been lots of running around and all that. And so